afternoon, evening, morning, whatever it is when you're watching this. And welcome to my review of Procosplay's Captain Marvel's costume. Yes, two. Why did you buy two? I'll get to that. There's a story. There's always a story with me. Now, hopefully at this time, I've figured out how to put in a little infographic showing a side-by-side comparison of the two that you would see on the site. Give that a few moments. As you can see, there's one that's going to be on the left-hand side. It's darker and not as movie accurate. And what happened was that they had put that out before there was anything official as far as the movie version. And what they did was base it off the black and green Star Force costume. They took a guess at the colors. They were a little wrong. Then when the movie came out, when they started doing the promotional material, they came out with a version that is much more closer, which is the one I'm wearing right now. So I'm going to break it down piece by piece, let you know the pros and cons of each. They're made similarly, obviously, same pattern, same cuts, and some of the same obstacles and issues. So let's get started. First off is the vest. Pretty neat looking. When they did mine, however, it was missing this rocker, and I had to put one in on my own. The other thing to keep in mind is that with Procosplay, their zippers are really the cheapest on the planet. And so it's not on this one because I took off my extra zipper to put it in this one. So you're definitely going to want to look into replacing your zipper, or what I do is I nest it, so that way I just, sew it like right alongside the existing zipper. The one thing I don't like about this is where the zipper is. It is like right over in this weird, hard to put on and off spot. So this is definitely a costume you are going to want to have someone help you out with. Moving on to the bodysuit. First thing I had to do was cut this notch in the jumpsuit because the scoop is very high up in the neck and was cutting off my ability to breathe if I tried to sit down. So that was pretty bad. The other thing is that with these zippers, it's one of these invisible zippers, and when you have these cross, I know it's probably hard to see, but there's sort of a cross seam right here. Invisible zippers overall, no matter what you're wearing, tend to have a problem kind of going up over them. So what I found I had to do was actually zip this up past the initial waist point and basically fold it over and shimmy it on. I still need help putting it on because I can't reach the zippers at any point. Getting into why I ended up going with another version. Let me unzip. Give me a second. When I've worn this costume only twice, and I slightly punctured it, and the zipper at some point when I had to use the facilities flipped over and pulled it. Because it was punctured, in my opinion, it was a little compromised. It's barely there, to be honest, but I was having a freak out. I was going to put in a request to replace the jumpsuit. However, when I went to go and look up something for another friend of mine, I saw that they had made this version. Ooh. Yes, I made a little noise, and my husband rolled his eyes and said, just go get it. I will say, wearing the two of them, that this newer version is much thicker, especially in the leg area. The material just feels a lot more sturdier. And this is definitely a little thinner. But it's still, still made well, still holds up otherwise. As you can see, they have different detailing. Like this is on the side. It was a little awkward actually putting the jumpsuit on with this. The little extra gold panels were kind of cool. If you like a little extra color, a little to break it up, you might want to go with this one. And if you want to be a little more movie accurate, go with this one. Let's see, the gauntlets are pretty much the same, except they got extra detailing in the other costume. Again, preference. The one thing they kind of pushed on was the gloves. I mean, I don't mind them, but they're not really accurate. But if you want a little extra color, you're fine. The belt, it's nice in one piece. I will say in comparison that this one is in two and it keeps popping off with the Velcro because it's this. So if I bend down or sit down, it immediately pops right off, and it's a bit of a pain. So I will say that I prefer how they made the other one better. I'm not too sure why they changed that up. In the other version, you get boot covers, which are actually made pretty well. Got a zipper on the side, which is neat. I don't see that a lot when they have boot covers made. And they come with little booties. They aren't bad, but there's no real support on the ankle part, so it just kind of feels like it's there. Feels like it might slip off. I mean, it doesn't. It just kind of feels that way. In this version, the boots are excellent. I do want to tell you that if you do order them, make sure you tell them your calf size. I made the assumption, since that the jumpsuit fit great and that the boot covers had fit great, that this would proportionally fit. They do not. Sad face. What I do have is these temporary panels. I do have a request in to see if they'll make me a new pair of boots. So hopefully when they get back from their new year, they'll be able to expedite me a pair. In the meantime, I'm just wearing my red motorcycle boots because they're comfortable and they're red, so they work. Gloves here are more accurate. The wrists are more accurate. So if you're looking for movie accurate, go with this one. If you prefer darker and a little more gold detailing, go with the other one. Overall, I would say this one is the better quality one. Even just looking at the stitching, taking care of it. This one's been easier, whereas the other one has a few places where the stitches do kind of pop out, and that is something you are going to have to watch for anytime you get a costume from somewhere. Hopefully this will, give you a little idea, and if you were on the fence about which version to get. I don't think you can go wrong with either version. It's just going to have to be what your preference is, movie accurate or the darker colors. So, till my next one. Have a good one.